Hi guys, Aka here. So, we have Louis the 14th, the latest CAV general to be released to Evony, and he's not to be mistaken with Louis the 9th. Although, I'm kind of willing to bet that someone somewhere in Evony is gonna make that mistake. Anyway, we have Louis the 14th, and we want to take a look at him, see how good he is, and see how well he does against other top generals in the game. So let's hop right in. So we have Louis here, and any comments on his outfit? Anyway, so we look at his main skill. For his main skill, he gets mounted troop attack, defense, and HP 40%, and an additional mounted troop attack of 15% when he brings a dragon or a spirit beast. Okay, and it's important to note that he's a when leading the army to attack general. All right, so that's it for his main skill. Now, if we look at his specialty, and by the time we put everything together in the specialty, Louis the 14th comes out with 80% attack, 60% defense, and 50% HP. Okay, now we look at his ascension, and we put everything in his ascension together. He gets 80% attack, 35% defense, and 60% HP. Okay, so when you put all the stats for Louis the 14th together, he comes out with a total of 215% attack, 135% defense, and 150% HP. Okay, looking good. He's looking very good on the stats. Now, let's put him up against some of the other generals and see how well he does. Guys, if you're planning on coining in this event, or even the next, consider using Paxify. Paxify is a company that provides discount for gamers. Everyone can save with Paxify. The discounts range from 10% up to 35%. And of course, the discounts get better at the higher end the more you spend. Plus, you could also get some extra perks and preferential treatment at the higher end. So there's decent potential savings there. Now, if you're not familiar with Paxify, aside from the fact that they provide discounts for other games, and they're doing it for Evony as well, I also have been using Paxify to help me save a bit on packs, and it's been great so far. If you're interested in checking them out, you can check for them on Trustpilot, where you'll get to read user reviews, or you can check out their website and the setup video that I did for Paxify. I'll have all the links that you need down in the description of this video. So if that sounds interesting to you, give Paxify a try and see if you can save a bit on those packs. Now, picking the generals to compare Louis with was a bit tough, but these are the generals that I decided to go with, okay? And these are their stats. As you can see, overall, Louis is not doing bad. He's decent on the attack, defense looks decent enough, and his HP is looking very good, okay? Amongst the highest that we're looking at right now. So, yeah, stats-wise, he's doing pretty well. Okay, so we want to now take a look at their march sizes. And as we know, for mounted generals, march size is a very important thing. So, here are the march sizes of these generals that we're looking at. And again, Louis the 14th, not too shabby on the march size. He's equal with Marco Polo on the march size, making his march size one of the highest amongst the prominent mounted generals that we have. So, yeah, overall, on the stats and on the march size, yeah, he's doing good. So, we want to take a different look at Louis, and from this point, we want to take a look at his covenant. So, this is his covenant right here, and these are the generals that he needs for his covenant. Pretty okay selection. Willing to bet a lot of people have them already. So, all in all, generals look kind of okay. Now, we look at the covenant, all right? And in the 5th covenant right here, he's got march size, which we had factored in already. And all in all, yeah, it looks like a pretty standard covenant. Nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary in this one. So, yeah, his covenant is okay. Now, we want to check out his compatibility. Okay, and as usual, the first thing we're going to look at is the compatibility with skill books. So, here we have Louis. Okay, we go into the skill books, check him for mounted attack. He's good for mounted attack. Go down quickly. Look for mounted defense. Yes, mounted defense. He's good on that. Okay. And then we look at mounted HP. Mounted HP is good. Finally, march size. March size is good. So, Louis the 14th can take all the mounted skill books that we have in the game. All right, that's a very good plus for him. Now, we want to go and check out his compatibility with other generals. So we mosey on down to the wall. Okay. Okay, so the first general that we want to compare Louis with is Washington Prime. As we know, Washington Prime is one of the go-to guys for assistants. And we look at him and Louis, they're doing good. Okay, good combination. Now, we move on. We have Chen Yaojing here. Okay, unfortunately, Louis and Chen are not compatible. So that one goes out. The next general that we're going to look at is Marco Polo. Okay, as we can see, Louis and Marco Polo are compatible. Okay, that's a very strong combination. However, though, we can see that there's a skill book grayed out on Marco Polo. That skill book is the mounted attack book. Okay, so let's switch them around and let's see. Okay, so we see here that now, because of that skill book, the compatibility has been affected. If we tap on Louis' skill book right here, it shows mounted troop attack book. So it means that if you're using Louis, the mounted attack book needs to be on him. It cannot be on the assistant. Okay, so that's cool for us to know. Now, the next general that we want to check Louis with is Hestia. Okay, Louis is compatible with Hestia, and he's compatible with Motonari. All in all, Louis has pretty decent compatibility. Now, as usual, if you know of any prominent generals that he's compatible with or not compatible with, please feel free to share them down below. It's always appreciated. Thank you guys very much. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at Louis as the assistant. Now, we look at his stats as an assistant. Okay, the stats themselves, as you can see, are not bad. Okay, he's looking pretty okay as an assistant. The issue he's going to have here is when it comes to the march size. He gets 16% march size, which is not bad. But when you compare to some of the other generals that we have, yeah, it's leaving a bit to be desired there. So, yeah, all in all, he's kind of okay as an assistant. We'll give him a maybe like a B+ rating for this. But yeah, all in all, he's okay. So, after going through all of that, the verdict on Louis is he's good. Okay? He's freaking awesome. Right? This guy is like the second coming of Marco Polo. Okay? He's that good. Decent stats, decent march size. He's a go. Okay? However, based on what we saw when we were looking at the assistants, I think Louis is not quite geared up to be an assistant, with especially when you compare him with all the other mounted generals that we have. Okay? I think in the assistant role, he's lacking a bit, specifically on the march size. But as the main general, this guy is awesome. So you'd want to use him as the main general, not really as the assistant unless you don't have any other decent options. Right, now, the question that a lot of people want to ask is, should they switch to Louis? Right, now I'll give you the simple version of it. If you have any of, the top mounted generals that we usually call, guys like Marco Polo, Chen Yaojing, you can throw Heraldson in there, you can throw Motonari in there. Okay, there are a few of them. If you have any of those top guys, I don't think that you need to switch to Louis. All right? I think that the difference in buffs and stats that you get from those guys when you consider what you need to do to level up the general and do ascension and specialties and all that kind of stuff, probably not really worth it for the increase that you're looking at there. However, if you don't have any of those top mounted generals and you've got like the stuff that you need, general tokens, blood of Ares, rune stones, all that kind of stuff, get this guy. Okay? You have my permission, you have my blessing, right? Get Louis the 14th, step up your cav game. It will be a significant improvement to your mounted march. So, that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Aka signing out.